Thank you. I found some coffee. I did not find the Baileys, but I will have to take a drink every so often. My kids brought home their homework and the plague here over the last few weeks, so I'm getting over that. Glad to be here. I'm not happy to be following up a stadium tour and Matt Burke, but thanks for Tom to slip that in there. I can follow Tom up. So again, my name is Joe Triplett. I'm the Public Works Director and County Engineer for Chisago County. And we've done a couple of these HIR projects over the last couple of years, and I thought, I was asked, and I thought, well, it'd be good to give the local agency perspective. Looking out over the room, it's damn near all contractors. I'm usually talking to other local agencies. So maybe for you guys just to hear sort of what our thinking is. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Our MnDOT folks are in here as well. So with that, we'll get going. For those of you who don't know, Chisago County, we're located about a half hour north of the Twin Cities. We are part of MnDOT's Metro District, almost 60,000 people, and we've got 10 cities and 9 townships to wrangle. We've got 650 lane miles of roads, or probably a little better, and about 56 bridges. So we're not a very big county, and along with that, our resources aren't what at least I would hope they'd be. So goals, local agencies got to have goals, right? So ours are, and working with our county board to sort of deliver what this expectation is, and our goal is to be able to deliver a safe and efficient highway system. And again, it's easy to say, but given the circumstances, it's not always easy to do. And it depends on who you're talking to. And we really need to balance pavement preservation needs with our reconstruction and expansion needs. If you talk to anybody from MnDOT, they don't do expansion projects anymore. There's just no capital to do that, unless it's a min-pass lane. For us, it's not quite that easy, but it's not quite that hard either. We're really, like everybody else, mired in the pavement preservation mode. And as such, we still have to do our recons and our expansion projects, but vast majority of that is going to be pavement preservation. And along with that goes balancing your budget with your traffic and your usage. For me, I'd love to be able to reconstruct every mile of road I have, but I've got roads with under 500 ADT, and sometimes it's just not practical to do that. And another goal specifically for us is to use as much of the materials that are there already as possible. It might sound counterintuitive for a local agency that just wants to recon, go, but really we've got a substantial investment already in that road. And for us, it means that we need to be able to use and reuse and claw for every cent we can. And pavement preservation goes hand in hand with that, at least for us. Now, along with the goals comes challenges. We've got a lot of rural and urban sections. We've got heavy agricultural and aggregate production in our county. That leads to bigger loads. It leads to bigger trucks, heavy commercial traffic. So it'd be nice to throw down 6 inches of gravel and a lift of asphalt and call her good, but it just doesn't work that way, especially when given our soil types. We've got over 70 or 80 lakes in our county. Lots of soils that you really don't want to build a road over. And we've got a ton of miles that it seems they dug out the ditches and it was bad in the ditch. I don't know who thought it would be good in the road, but so we've got that to deal with as well. Of course, the budget and resource challenge, and that's everybody, even your own household. Our user expectations for us at the local level, MnDOT, you guys have a couple of layers of insulation there. I'm jealous sometimes, but our user expectations are what really drives us, and those users know our board members. They know us, they know where we live, they know our phone numbers, everything else. So really being able to manage that challenge goes a long way. And community. We are, again, half hour north of cities, so a vast majority of our population commutes to the cities. So that puts even more strain on our system, in that these people need to get to a trunk highway or an interstate and get down to the cities. And of course, there's always the political pressures, whether they're from, you know, who's ever doing your daycare or at the bar, or, you know, or your county board. We get them from everywhere. No. All right. So we developed an approach to at least the pavement preservation side of things, and that was to look at all the strategies, not just an overlay or a mill and fill. Really, we needed to innovate to make our system happen, and these strategies include full depth reclamation, stabilized full depth reclamation. As Tom had alluded to, we've done a ton of we reclaim and pave just about everything, and certainly when it comes to roads where we have to deal with maybe heavier commercial traffic or questionable subgrade. We've done the cement and fly ash stabilization and the engineered emulsion. Again, both great strategies. Both those strategies, you get a really strong road, a good long-lasting road, without having to pay $1.5 million a mile to reconstruct. We've done microsurfacing, cold-in-place recycling. We've done quite a bit of that, and now we've dipped our toe in the hot-in-place recycling. The $1 million question is when to do what strategy on what road. If you get that figured out, and maybe you're right some of the time, it goes a long, long way. So just for those of you guys who don't know the HIR process, again, we're just learning as well. There's 2 or 3 different methods out there. We used the heater scarification process on all 3 of our projects. We've got a couple of different pictures up here. There's the Dustrol approach and the Gallagher asphalt approach. Gallagher has done all 3 of our projects. And you can see their preheating units here. So they've got 2 preheating units. The first one gets the asphalt up to about 200 degrees. Then the second one gets it up to about 300. The rejuvenating agent is then added, and these tines are then set down to scarify the pavement to the depth that you're looking for. And then there's an auger that remixes those couple inches of pavement again, and then puts it out back through the paver. At that point, it's compacted, and you've got a road. We like that it's ready for traffic, and for us, we've capped it with a seal coat, but you could put any sort of surface you would like on that. Again, at that point, it's ready. So it's quick, it's easy, and it's ready for that surface. So why the heck did we choose HIR? Well, again, with so many different roads and so many different conditions, and so many different strategies, you really got to take a step back and try and move the puzzle pieces around. We had road issues with these 3 roads. The pavement ride was not very good. The pavement age varied dramatically from about 30 years to about 7. Again, the oxidation on that 30-year-old, it was a lot of bad, old, tired road. Budget, again, I'd love to be able to spend $1.5 million a mile, but I can't. So traffic and usage, again, plays into that strategy choosing scenario as well. Cross-section and existing in-slopes. So the road itself plays a key. Quite a few of our county roads are, 24 in that 24-foot range. Maybe you got a little shoulder on it, maybe you don't. And the in-slopes are very steep. So if you're going to overlay a reclaim and pave, a lot of times you're adding height to that profile, and now you're really chasing you're chasing those in-slopes. So if it's a bad situation, we tend not to want to make it worse. These are improvement projects. So we really have to take into account what the cross-section of that existing highway is. And we had a pavement issue on our 18 project in that it was about 7 years old, but we were experiencing some delamination in the wear layer, about 3/4 of an inch into that layer. So where we had thought we would be able to do a seal coat or a micro on this road, it just that wouldn't be appropriate as it's continuing to delaminate. So we looked at some of the benefits as well. The minimal construction impacts. Again, it's once they're done and through, it's all done under traffic, and once they're done and through and rolled, you've got a road. The ease and the speed of the construction, the crews were able to get about 2 lane miles a day, which again, if you're putting road right back behind you, you can sort of take the weather out of the equation a little bit too. We did have a couple of rain days, but again, if you're paving, you're not going to be paving on those days either. You're left with a paved surface at the end of each day. The construction cost, which I'll go through, was very attractive, and recycling is good. Again, we've got this material out here already, so for us, being able to use it and reuse it and recycle it, that shows our residents that we're looking environmentally for environmentally friendlier strategies, but we're also looking to get things done and get them in under budget. So here's the 3 roads that we've done. I'll just touch on them a little bit. Our County State Highway 8, Highway 4 was a 10-mile project, 2 distinct segments. One was 24 feet, the other was 32, and again, only 510 to 760 cars a day on it. Our County State 18, about 4.5 mile stretch, 28 feet in width, only 2,300 cars a day. And our County Road 57 was a little longer stretch, 7 miles, 24 feet in width, and again, 500 cars a day. And that one, I'll touch on a little bit. That one was one of the roads that Tom had done back in 2000, 2001 that got emulsion stabilized and just 1.5 inches, 2 inches of wear on it. And so we got a good 17 years out of that road. It was time to do something. So we thought this would work very well on that road. So County 4, again, with the 2 differing segments, we had a 24-foot road and a 32. Now the 32, we did the center 26 and then fogged the shoulders. Again, just sort of for us a cost-saving move. There's plenty of pavement. We had generally 6 inches. I know it says 6 to 8, but I think it's more on the 6-inch side. Our County Road 18 and 57, I'll caution you, we did screw up. This is 18 and that's 57. So our County Road 18 is the one where we had the delaminating issue on. Again, 28-foot top. We did all 28 feet. And the County Road 57 emulsion stabilized road, again, 24-foot road, and we did all of that as well. Now, one of the pluses to HIRing these projects is we don't have to shoulder. We even have our own shouldering machine and our own shouldering material, but it still costs money to shoulder a road. Speaking of costs, so our County 4 project we did in 2016, the HIR component is $4.19 a square yard. We put a seal coat over that, and at the time it was $1.15 a square yard. So again, you're looking at a little over $5 a square yard for resurfacing this, which is about $75,000 a mile. Now this year's projects, the HIR cost was the same. The seal coat actually went down, so we're right about $5.19 a square. Again, $73,000 a mile. Now, again, when I mentioned reconstructing, we're at about $1.5 million. The recon I did last year was just about $1.5 million a mile. So if you're looking at doing $75,000 a mile or $1.5 million, I mean, that's, again, for us, more isn't always good, but when the expectation is a smooth road, there's probably a few different ways to skin that cat. So part of the selection is not only, well, what do we think can work on that road, or why do we think can work on that road, but okay, what do we have for available funding, and what does that strategy cost compared to other strategies? So for us, we've been seeing, and again, these are sort of our historical costs. For just a 2-inch overlay, we're at about $10 a square yard. 2-inch mill and fill is about 14. Micro is about 4 to 5. CIR is $8 to $9 a square yard, and an FDR and pave is a little more expensive. That you're 20 to 25. So with each of these, on these projects, we looked at, okay, what are some of these issues? Well, the profile on inslope, again, if you're raising that, if you can't afford to address the inslopes, or again, you don't want to make it worse, these were not good candidate roads. Existing surface condition, again, I'd mentioned on 18, we wanted to do a chip seal or a microsurfacing. Well, if the road itself is falling apart, you're probably not going to put lipstick on that pig. Subgrade stability, mill and overlay and CIR. The 57 job, we didn't want to take the gamble that CIR train would bust through. So again, if you have to be aware that, I shouldn't say, I'm not talking to you guys. Agencies have to be aware of what equipment you guys have and try and factor that into to putting a good project out there. And when I talk to other agencies, I always, if I can, get in that, call this person, call that person, call Patrick, call Don, call Tom, call the contractor and get a sense for what, if you don't have any idea what the heck they're going to do, you should probably have an idea and get that idea by talking to them to see what kind of equipment's out there. Again, I probably don't have to preach to you guys when it goes south, but I'll fall on the sword a little bit. A lot of times, believe it or not, the engineers don't always know. And sometimes if they just ask a few questions to the right people, you can avoid a lot of mistakes. Expected service life is kind of, we look at it as like a micro or a mill and fill. We expect these to crack. We're hoping to get 5 to 7 years out of these. Again, we'd like to be able to do these nice big fixes, but if we can preserve that pavement and keep moving that down the road, then I don't want to say money ahead, but this is more of a perpetual thing for us counties, for MnDOT. You still want that user to be comfortable on that road, to be happy with that road. If it's bumpy, if there's potholes, that sort of thing, you're going to hear about it. So at some point, you've got to be able to say, all right, here's the funds we have just for pavement preservation, and use those accordingly. And that's sort of the strategy that we've gone to. So I threw in some photos. Patrick, please don't correct me when I get these wrong. You can just let me look like I know what I'm talking about, please. Yep, I'm just rearranging the deck chairs. So this is their machine. Here's the tines. You can see the auger. I got a better shot of this going. So really, here's the process. In here, you can see where there's these little discs where the rejuvenator comes down, the tines that are set to the depth, and then it all comes out. It gets redistributed out through the back of a paver. You can see here they actually do check depths. So here's our County 4. You can see the preheating units. Here's our County Road 57 after it was they finished and then it just started raining. So I mean it looks like a new road, which again for the general public is nice. Here's our County Road 57 project. Again, you can sort of see what we're going after now. I know that isn't going to fix that forever, but I know it's not going to get any worse right now. So when we're able to come across and take those top couple lifts or those couple inches of that lift and rejuvenate that, reheat it up, and put it back down, then again we're always buying time. I guess that's what it comes down to. Here's that County 18 project. Again, it looks like brand new asphalt. And they roll it just like that. Again, you can see the shouldering material. We're right on the shoulder, so I mean we don't even have to do any shouldering. So, yes. So we did have a nuke gauge out. So again, you're only messing with that 1.5, 2 inch layer. So really, you're just trying to establish that rolling pattern, and I rely a lot on the contractor on that. I know. In a room full of contractors here and engineers say that might be, don't tell anybody else I said that, but really at that point it becomes, okay, what do we get for rolling pattern, and then we just keep going. So. Yes. Well, and yes. So again, it's not. We understand that it's not hot mix, and again, not just user expectations, but everybody else. Those expectations need to be okay. What do we need to get out of this road? We're not spending 60, 65 bucks a square yard. We're spending $5. So at this point, what do we need to get, what do we need to do to get that couple inch lift on there? And again, for us, it's our third project. We're learning as we go too.
You mentioned you have a new road right after. How soon after are you doing any type of surface treatment or?
So 2 weeks later, we seal coated. So we did, it's been 10 days has been sort of floated out there. You really, and I don't even remember where that came from, but really, if you talk to Don or Patrick, they'd probably tell you could turn right around and seal coat it. Well, we bid our seal coat out as a county, and we include these sort of projects in there. So we're sort of at the mercy there of scheduling. But we don't want it to go the whole season. Maybe it'd be fine. But so 10 days later, it was seal coated.
Are you doing anything different depth-wise or treatment-wise for the road with the heavier trucks on it?
No. As far as let me back you up. As far as HIR or as far as a different strategy? No. Again, part of picking that strategy is that we don't have we've got a sand frac facility in our county. Well, I'm pretty sure there's not 2 inches of pavement leading up to that. In fact, when in 2021 we're reconstructing that'll be concrete that we're doing up to this facility. So again, knowing where we've only got a couple of dairy farms left in the county, knowing your system and where that heavy traffic is plays into that as well. Now, for a County 4, again with 6 to 8 inches of asphalt under there, a decent base, we're just getting ride back. We're just getting ride back. So those gravity boxes aren't boing down the highway. Yes.
What's the size of your aggregate?
We FA2. Yep. And FA3. I should say that depending on the road, I don't remember which ones we put on this road. So it's 2 and 3 are what we generally use, and it's generally a trap rock. Oh, sorry. It's a half inch. It's really just a surface course, and then we fog over the top of that. Mm-hmm. Again, when we let our project, it's maybe 750,000 squares. So it's quantity. So we try and tie all these together. So we had a few other projects that we're doing with the seal coat. So it's not just our maintenance, and I get to marry the engineering and the maintenance end to, okay, we need seal coat for this and we need seal coat for that. So we try and get it all into one project. You'd have to refer to Patrick. It's an emulsion, engineer emulsion, but I don't know if you're looking for a name brand, I don't have that. We tried that. We tried it the first year, and I think we go another 500ths. Well, long and short of it is no, we don't. No, we didn't. We did. Now we had a CIR job that we did increase it a little bit, but so far so good on these roads. So. No, we have not yet. We did micro a CIR job this year that turned out fantastically. It would depend. In fact, I haven't got all the ride numbers back for the micro over the CIR. The ride numbers over the CIR were fantastic to start with. So again, it's if you want to spend another, then you're up into that $10 to $12 range if you're going to micro over the top of that, and then maybe you look at something different. But again, this is just trying to get some ride back in the road and seal it up. So. So we are, again, we just did it in 2016 and 17. We're hoping, we've got the roads programmed in for 5 to 7 years for a reclaim and pave. So we're hoping to get 5 to 7 years out of them. Very good. Thank you.